All right, guys. I know y'all just watched that Tennessee game that was extremely disappointing to lose by 5 like that. But man, we showed some fight, fought through adversity. Um, 3 out of 4 games against top ranked teams in the country. 2-2 on the year. I think we showed major progress offensively in this game. I was really happy to see Napier adapt and change up some of the play calling. Some of it not so much. There's still some things he needs to go away from, some questionable calls, but overall, a very, very good offensive game. I love the game plan that he put together for this. Definitely made some adjustments, definitely made some of the things that we were all calling for and looking for in this game. Um, I thought AR really looked like himself again, was in a rhythm in this game. Napier did a good job scheming things up. Receivers were open. I thought they did a heck of a job. I mean, what do we have? One, two, three, four, five, six, 7 receivers caught a ball today. This looked like how we were airing it out under Mullen, just spreading the ball around. Oddly enough, in this game, we were all thinking the running game is what we were going to lean on. The running game was shut down. I mean, just super disappointing that we couldn't run the ball. Even AR was very pedestrian on the ground, but overall through the air, I mean, we shredded their defense. If our defense could just get off the field, if we made 1, 2 stops and get a punt in this game, we win this game. Hands down, we would have walked away with a victory in Neyland Stadium against a top-ranked, top 15 team in the country if it wasn't for our defense being such trash. These are Grantham's guys that don't fit their position, undersized. I'm not impressed with Tony so far. I thought the defense had showed some fight towards the end of games in the second half. We're just so thin. Still playing way too far off the ball on some of these passing downs. Personnel, some of the people in the games at times is really disappointing. But look at it this way, guys. We could be, I mean, FSU's got a nice start to the year, but who have they played? They played 4 cupcakes, not a single ranked team in the ACC. Their losses are coming. I could see them starting 4-0 and ending up 4-4. 4 more weeks in after they start playing some competition. Miami sucks. We could be Miami and have a losing record. Lost today to Middle Tennessee State University, which is an embarrassment. That's big for us in recruiting. We still got a top 10 class. The future's bright at Florida. Billy really needs to close out a top. We need a top 3, 4 class this year in order to be able to get back to being competitive in year 2 and take the step forward that I think we're all going to see next year. To me, this game showed Tennessee looks like the team that I think Florida will be in year 2. I think that we will progress. I mean, they got a 24-year-old quarterback who's been in college for 20 years, it seems like. But, on defense, I wasn't really that impressed with them. They were beatable. That game was easily winnable. I like seeing the passion from Billy on the sideline during that flag. I mean, that was disappointing, but that did not affect the outcome of the game. The officiating was atrocious. It was like they were trying to give Tennessee the game at times. I thought some of the penalties, some of the non-calls in the game, we should have got some that went our way. But again, that's how football is. A USF game was practically given to us on penalties, so we're fortunate for that. 3 out of 4 games against ranked opponents, though. I mean, you couldn't have a harder start to a first year for a coach. So, like I said, I'm gonna be patient. I liked what I saw today. I really think we had a lot of positive progress on the offensive side of the ball. Secondary is straight up trash. Our secondary has played so much better than this today. Just complete lack of communication. You can't say we weren't missing our key linebackers. They were both in the game. They're still both pedestrian and average. They were both 3-star guys, except for Bernie. He was a low 4-star out of high school, but they are just absolutely terrible. Miller can stop the run. Other than that, he couldn't cover a pass to save his life. But if he wasn't in that game, I mean, it would have been even worse than it already was. So the communication breakdown is just absolutely awful. And that falls on some of the coaching. So, the jury's still out on Tony. I'll give him time as well because he's got to get his defensive, pieces to fit his scheme, guys that he recruited. I think it's time the youth movement comes to Florida and we replace some of these old, Mullen recruits. Trey Dean needs to come off the field. Kamari Wilson needs to be playing more. Christopher McClellan needs to be playing a whole lot more. He looks better than Dexter, in my opinion. I thought Cox did okay at times, but at other times he blows his assignment and over pursues. The defense definitely regressed, in my opinion, big time in this game. Like I said, the vets, all these Mullen guys, they just need to ride the pine, and we need to roll with the young guys, get the youth movement, get the experience in, get the repetition and game reps. Big Dez didn't show up in this game as much as I thought he. Well, that one doesn't really surprise me, actually, because he's a big guy. He's a run stuffer. Tennessee runs a freaking fast-paced offense, high tempo, so guys like that are going to struggle against an offense like this. That was an experienced group with a heck of a good coach. Hupel is a very, very good coach, in my opinion. He was great at UCF. He's a good game caller, or play caller. So Tennessee's got a good one in Hupel, and I think they're going to be a tough opponent for years to come. But there's no excuse at Florida to lose to Kentucky and Tennessee like we did, 2 out of the last 3 weeks. That Kentucky game was winnable, in my opinion. We shouldn't have dropped that game. That was mostly on coaching, in my opinion. But I say play the young guys and just roll with it. You got nothing to lose at this point. We're the 4th best team in the East. It's time to just, play for the future and play for development. AR, 24 of 44. Completion percentage not great. A lot of passes thrown, but 453 yards through the air, which is phenomenal. This is the AR. He's super up and down and inconsistent. 2 touchdowns, an interception, 4 total touchdowns, though. 17 carries for 62 yards. Again, he wasn't great on the ground, but enough to keep the defense honest, about 3.5 yards per carry. 2 touchdowns on the ground. Finally got those passing touchdowns. Those were escaping him there for a while, but 2 today. So good numbers for AR. Loved what I saw from him today. He was seeing the field well. So they made some adjustments with the play calling. The tight ends were involved in the offense today, which I thought was a nice move by Napier to really get them involved in the passing game. Another thing they did is they stopped. They limited some of the play action with AR's back to the defense. Instead, they ran out of the shotgun and kept his eyes downfield. He sees the field better like that, and he really struggled again on those bootlegs and play action when his back was turned. A lot of those were incomplete balls or just bad passes. I think that just needs to get out of the playbook altogether until we get a guy that either fits that kind of system or Napier just gets AR just gets a lot better at it, because as of right now he doesn't run that offense very well. He excelled in what Mullen did in Mullen's type of offense, so I think those are the things that suit his strengths. And when we did that type of stuff with the RPOs and him looking downfield and throwing the ball, I thought he did a lot better. So AR really did have a nice game. So super happy about that. I'm hoping he can be more consistent and put it together and have more performances like this throughout the year and less of the last 2 games that we saw. I think that he will play better throughout the rest of the season, and the numbers will start to trend upward for him as Napier makes adjustments. We just got to be patient, guys. ETN on the ground, like I said, we really struggled. Tennessee really shut us down. They got a good run defense, but it was really shocking to see how much we were stifled with our offensive line. They just were not getting a push. I mean, we were running into a pile. I did not like the play calling running up the middle almost on every play. We need to get on the perimeter and let our playmakers, make a guy miss. Running right up, the A gap, B gap, right off, the guard just isn't working for us. ETN, 9 carries for 35 yards, very pedestrian, 3.9 average. Naquan Wright, again, the carries, 50-50, evenly split. I'm just tired of seeing this running back by committee, knowing we got 2 guys that are stronger backs than Naquan. But Naquan Wright, again, 8 carries, 28 yards. Montreal Johnson, 8 carries for 18 yards. 1 less carry. ETN had the most, which I was happy to see. But, again, it's only 1 more carry than the rest of them. But nobody had great numbers. Naquan Wright averaged 3.2 yards per carry. Montreal Johnson had a touchdown, so that was good to see, but the receivers tore it up today. Justin Shorter had 7 catches for 155 yards. He really stepped up today and had a big effect on the game. Our receivers were getting open, so I don't know if that was the route combos or what they were doing there that made a difference, but man, they were really catching the ball good, giving AR a chance to make a play. Persall, 5 catches for 103 yards. Man, that kid is special. He knows how to get open, and he stretches out and makes some phenomenal grabs. Just awkward catches, off balance. Because AR throws it kind of wild sometimes, but Persall, he's got some hands on him. He had a touchdown today. That was good to see. Hendo's very pedestrian to me. I don't know why we try to get him so many targets in the game. He had 4 for 68 yards. Kickoff return, they have got to stop trying to run the ball out. I just say fair catch it 100% of the time. There ain't nobody back there that's special with the ball in their hands. So I don't even want to see another return kickoff or punt return. Just fair catch the ball and roll with it. The offense is good enough to move the ball when we're rolling. So they need to find somebody else to get back there. That Hendo looks like he's got concrete in his shoes or sand or something. I mean, he's just super slow. Those screens to him on the outside don't work, and we called it again today, which was weird. That's still even in the playbook after how unsuccessful that's been. The only thing I can think of is maybe it works in practice or something, but it's just a terrible play design. It's just going to the wrong type of player. Zipper, again, the tight ends, this is something I'd been calling for that I thought was great. Zipper had 3 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Witt, he was missing the last few weeks, and all of a sudden, the last couple of games, he stepped up, had 2 catches for 31 yards. So I'm glad to see him mixed up in the offense now. That's somebody who we've been needing to step up. He was a consistent receiver when he was healthy. I'm thinking he was injured, and that's why he didn't play the last couple of weeks. He must have been kind of banged up. Dante Lang, the other tight end, had 2 catches for 18 yards, and Ty Chico Bowman, he had a catch for 16 yards. So the receivers, just a big day for those guys overall. Like I said, a lot of guys got the ball in their hands. I think this bodes well for the future with the passing game. We know we have a run game. We have a mobile quarterback. We need to work on that RPO a little bit more, get outside on the perimeter, run off tackle, and I think we can have some success there in the run game. But overall, 2-2 start. The game next week I think might get canceled because of the hurricane out there in the Gulf, so we may not end up getting to get that easy W. We really need that one to boost some confidence and get the team rolling, get us to 3-2. But that's all I got today. Go Gators.